Hey, welcome back, folks. Patrick Barrett here, your favorite driver education guru, and of course the author and creator of Driver Ed in a Box. So today we get a question that we see a lot from people who are inquiring about driver education or how Driver Ed in a Box works. And one of the questions that's most common is, oh, how long does it take? Well, that's a really good question, because most people think, well, if you look at other programs and other attempts at teaching someone to drive, they say, well, it's going to take 6 hours, it's going to take 8 hours. We got to do all this classroom, and then we got to do these hours behind the wheel, and then you practice a little bit, and then you get your license. The problem is, that's a false assumption there. The false assumption or the false premise is that it's a time-based approach. And it's not enough time in the first place. And secondly, it's a one-size-fits-all, which we know doesn't work because people learn at different rates and in different ways. Okay? And also people mature at different rates and in different ways. And if you're the parent and you've got a teenager, they might have the mastery of the manipulative skills, but maybe they haven't developed their judgment yet. Maybe their prefrontal lobe hasn't developed enough repetitions where they are able to assess risk adequately, where you feel comfortable about letting them begin to drive on their own. Of course, we know that that's an important element. So what is the real answer? How long does it take? The real answer to that question, it takes whatever it takes. I mean, that's it. Whatever it takes to master these skills and to master the habits of reading and responding to the traffic scene, of creating space, recreating it, identifying the threats, separating yourselves from the traps, protecting yourself from being tagged from the rear, and being able to move your eyes frequently so that you're always aware of what's going on and where your escape route is, and having an escape route. That takes practice. That takes practice even for experienced drivers to do this. Why? Because they get into habits that are less than elegant, let's put it that way, okay? That maybe ends up, oh, man, they end up stopping. I mean, just the habit, which we talked about earlier, of checking the mirror before you take your foot off the accelerator. That's a difficult habit for experienced drivers to create. Why? Because they've got all sorts of habits of not doing that. All the tens of thousands of times that they never did that, now they got to start doing it as a model for their students. That's not easy to do. Okay, so how long does it take a beginner? It takes whatever it takes. And that doesn't mean, and it doesn't matter if it's 50, 75, 100, or 200 hours. It doesn't matter. It's not the time that matters. It's the habits that they develop, the sequences that they develop, the ability to read and respond to the traffic scene, to create space and recreate it so that they're not threatened by other traffic. And that's what you want them to have. You want them to have habits that prevent them from being trapped and getting hurt, having a collision. So again, if you need any additional resources to help you, then you go to www.driveredinabox.com and get whatever resource we have. Remember, when you practice like your life depends on it, because it does. This is Patrick Barrett saying bye now.